The hospital hallway was quiet, almost eerily so, except for the faint hum of fluorescent lights overhead. Nurse Emily Sanders, 28, fair-skinned, with chestnut hair tied back in a neat ponytail, adjusted the oxygen mask on a recovering patient. She had just finished a grueling 12-hour shift and was walking back to the nurse's station, her light blue scrubs slightly rumpled, shoes scuffed from running from one ward to another. It was then that the sharp echo of gunshots shattered the sterile calm. 5 rapid shots rang out. Emily stumbled, clutching her side, her heart pounding in disbelief. Around her, the chaos erupted. Doctors shouting, patients screaming, and hospital staff diving for cover. Through the haze of pain, Emily's mind raced. How had it come to this? She had been nothing but dedicated, staying late to comfort frightened patients, calming anxious relatives, even covering shifts for overworked colleagues. And now this impossible act of violence in the very place she considered a sanctuary. The shooter, she realized with growing horror, wasn't a stranger. It was someone she had seen countless times in the hospital's polished corridors. Dr. Conrad Hale, the CEO, impeccably dressed in his tailored gray suit, his face an unreadable mask as he fired. Emily collapsed against the wall, her breath shallow. Her mind blurred between panic and disbelief, but then, unexpectedly, a hand grasped hers. It was Dr. Maya Thompson, a pediatric surgeon in her late 30s, wearing a crisp white coat and a worried frown. "You're going to be okay," Mia said, her voice steady despite the chaos. She guided Emily behind a heavy supply cart. "Stay with me. Just stay with me." And Emily's vision swam, but through the fog of pain, she noticed something. Dr. Hale, the CEO, was no longer pointing the gun at her. He stood frozen, staring at a small child crying in the corner of the hallway, a young patient who had wandered out of recovery. His face flickered with emotion. Something raw, something human. It was a fleeting moment, but it was enough. Emily, barely conscious, saw it. And then, in a twist neither of them expected, Dr. Hale dropped the weapon entirely, kneeling beside the child. He whispered something incomprehensible, his voice trembling. The paramedics arrived moments later, taking Emily into their care. She felt herself being lifted, yet she couldn't shake the image of Dr. Hale, kneeling, shaking, human in a way she never imagined. Later, in the quiet of a hospital room, Emily awoke to find Mia sitting beside her, holding a cup of water. "They said it was unusual," Mia murmured. "No one really knows why he stopped." Emily managed a weak smile. Despite everything, she felt a strange calm. Somehow, in the middle of violence and fear, a sliver of unexpected humanity had shown itself. And even as the questions lingered, one thing was certain: the world could be full of moments no one saw coming. Moments that altered the course of everything. Emily spent the next few days recovering in the hospital, her body mending but her mind replaying the hallway scene over and over. She couldn't forget the flicker of humanity she had glimpsed in Dr. Hale's eyes, the moment he had stopped and chosen compassion over cruelty. When she finally returned to work, the hospital seemed different, brighter somehow, though the memory of that day still lingered. Patients smiled at her, colleagues greeted her warmly, and she realized something profound: life often reveals itself in the smallest acts, even in the darkest moments. One afternoon, while checking on a young boy recovering from surgery, Emily noticed a hand-written note taped to the wall outside the pediatric ward. It was from Dr. Hale. The message was simple: "Thank you for reminding me what truly matters. Your courage and kindness inspire everyone around you." Emily felt a warmth spread through her chest. She had spent her life helping others without expectation, simply because it was the right thing to do. And in that gesture, she realized that kindness wasn't just a choice. It was a ripple. One act of care could awaken humanity even in those who had lost their way. From that day forward, Emily continued her work with renewed purpose. She stayed longer with patients who were scared, held the hands of those who felt alone, and never hesitated to offer a comforting word. Slowly, she saw the change ripple through the hospital: nurses supporting each other, doctors pausing to listen, and even staff members who had once seemed cold now showing small, heartfelt gestures of empathy. And sometimes, in quiet moments, Emily would glance down the hallway where it all happened and imagine the possibility of change in everyone, even in those who seemed unreachable. She knew then, with absolute certainty, that compassion had the power to heal, not just the body, but hearts, minds, and lives. The hospital, once just a place of work, became a place where humanity triumphed in subtle, unforgettable ways. And Emily, who had faced the unthinkable, learned that even in the face of darkness, one person's kindness could spark a light strong enough to touch the world.